definitely a number of the larger corporations that have slowed down on their private travel. You maybe don't see as many road shows as you once did. Some of the investment banks aren't traveling privately as much as they were. But we've seen absolutely no slowdown with the real estate developers, the high net worth individuals, and also the athletes and celebrities that make up our clientele. Amount of people who can afford to fly private and have the wherewithal to fly private, that actually do fly private, it's such a small percentage of the market has been penetrated. We've seen substantial growth over the last 5, 7, 8 years. The market has grown hundreds and hundreds of percentage points, but we believe we're in the second inning of a 9-inning game, and we believe that in the coming years, let's call it the next decade, there's going to be as much, if not more, growth than what we've seen in the past decade. Fuel costs really have had zero impact on our business, because the way it works in the private jet industry, and at Halcyon in particular, it's a pass-through to the customer. So you're talking about the average flight is around $30,000. So if the cost of the flight is going to increase from $30,000 to $30,200 or $400, it's really, the customers have not said anything about it, and it's a direct pass-through to them. I would say at Halcyon, there's about 20% of our business is international travel. The industry on a whole these days, it's almost 50-50 between international travel and U.S. travel. We believe that there's just a huge upside growth for us in the overseas markets. And we announced a little while ago at Halcyon that we're making an acquisition of a company called A-List Jets. And A-List is the opposite of us. They really, 80% of their business is international and 20% of their business is domestic. And we believe with the acquisition plus marketing efforts that we're concentrating overseas, we're really going to continue to grow our overseas business. And in the next year or two, we'd like to see 50% domestic, 50% international business. One of the things that works in our favor, even in these difficult times, is if you fly regular commercial airports, it's a disaster. And the worse people get treated, the more delays there are, the better it is for us. Because we're seeing a large crossover from guys who actually can afford to fly privately, but they never have, and they're just fed up. They get fed up at some point with the commercial airlines, and they give us a shot. And the beauty about what we do, if you could afford to fly privately, and you try it once, ball game over. You're hooked, and we have you as a customer. Now, one of the other things that is really attractive for plane owners is they only utilize their plane, let's say, 200-300 hours a year. Well, planes are made to go anywhere from 800 to 1,200 hours a year. So what do they do in the downtime? They enter into a management agreement, and they charter their planes out to people like myself, my company. So what we do is, we'll charter a plane out, let's call it 500 hours a year for a plane owner. It's really helping him defray the costs, and it helps him carry the cost of his aircraft, and just makes the financial model make all that much more sense for him.